That's the basic intro of myself. Yeah.
So before moving into our presentations and other stuff, I need to understand how many of you know this and intermediate or
LLMs.
AI related stuff. Okay. You want to know this? Okay, you are beginners here. So to understand deeply, I have some questions on that. So are you aware of what is LLMs and how AI works, or any other things you can share for me? So what do you know about AI?
Just trained on a large amount. To some extent, we can add context to it. It almost simulates a human being on the other side.
Okay. Anyone? Just you can share your experience so that I can understand and I can drive accordingly on
We want
that.
to make it as more interactive. The chat room and everyone will have a heavy lens. So if you guys try to speak up, then only it will be more interactive. So we plan at least by leaving this session, you should have some basics on the LLM. That's the basic motive for this session. So please try to be open up. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah, so in AI, basically what we're trying to achieve is basically take a large amount of data, like whatever previous data or history we've had, and we can use that to an extent to do basic tasks or get an answer basically. So whatever the user is prompting without human effort, we are trying to training the model to get an answer, and like through multiple processing, error training, backtracking, forward propagation. So we are training the model multiple times to get a precise answer at the end.
Okay. So there is a deep on ML related stuffs you have spoken right now. That's good. Anyone? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I have only basic knowledge like A, how like it's like A is like more automated, and usually basically we'll train the models to understand to give the information to AI, and based on the prompts the user gives, and we tune it the prompt so that it understand and analyze better to get the results what we want.
Okay. That's fine. So you were, I can recap on that. So it's like training a small children with our own context, and they are replicating what we are doing to them, right? So similar to that, LLMs are doing the same concept. Yeah. Anyone? Okay, that's fine. So what is the major thing is today we have a topic called multi-tool functional calling. So it's like an intermediate session. So we'll start with basic, what is LLM and why we need to use, and what are the available items for that particular tool call functions and other things also. Let me start. If you have any questions, you can ask that at the time itself, so we can clarify at that point itself. Okay, we are ready to go, right? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys, shall we start the session? Yeah, as we discussed previously, everyone has some basic information of LLM. Okay, our motive for this particular session is to get a basic grasp on LLM and how the tool function is helping in the LLM models. Okay, okay, as discussed previously, large language model LLM is a type of artificial intelligence that is designed to understand and generate a human-like language. That's the basic motive for the LLM itself. Okay, it's trained upon a very large amount of data so that it can predict what's the next thing which is we are going to ask, or with the data which is they are going to be provided. Okay, only it is basic wide range of applications that can be accommodated with the LLM, such as text generation, summarization, translation, Q&A, chatbot, virtual assistants that can be accommodated with this LLM. As the picture emits that LLM is a subset for the artificial intelligence, which has been subset of a numeric machine learning and subset of a deep learning, as this image projected. Okay. This slide will explain about how the LLM basically works. Okay. Basically, it has been trained with a large set of data, which has been trained by the particular architecture called as transformer architecture, and it has been trained so that the LLM final output will be the LLM. LLM is trained on a massive data set of a text, okay, with a small, which has been broken into small pieces of text, which is called as token. Okay, the core architecture of the LLM is transformer architecture. This transformer uses a self attention to analyze the different words related to each other, which helps to model understand the context of the user input. Okay, this is the hero for this particular session. Introduction about the function calling or tool calling. Vice versa, we will use it as a vice versa. Either it is a function calling or a tool calling, both are same. Okay. Introduction is the LLM is already trained with a large set of data, which cannot be used for the real-time data. So to obtain the real-time data, we missed this function calling or tool calling methodology, which is used to interact with the external APIs or a system, so that it can gain the knowledge of the real-time data. To say it, if you need to analyze finance data, the LLM cannot have the real-time finance data. So if it is able to interact with the real-time data, so it can predict or it can answer the question more precise. That's the basic application or a use case for this function call tooling. Okay, what is the advantage of function call tooling over LLM? Both are going to respond to our query. Okay, then what is the difference or what is the advantage of going to the LLM function call tooling rather than going with the traditional simple the LLM response itself? The basic difference is accuracy and reliability. When we go for the LLM, it is predefined or a pre-trained model which has only a restricted amount of data within it, so it can't precisely tell the answers. If we interact with the real-time API, it can be more precise and accuracy, so that the LLM function call tooling will be much more reliable when we go for the function call tooling with LLM. Okay. Then real-time information, as I said previously, LLM is pre-trained with data. So for the real-time information, you need function call tooling. It has a more of a, if we go for the LLM calling, the output for the LLM call will be unstructured way. Rather than if you go for the function call tooling, it will be more in a structured way, so that the response from the LLM can be again feed into a separate system where we can manipulate or we can interpolate with the structured output. So if you use the function call tooling with the LLM, it will provide a structured output. Then the parallel execution, which is one of the key feature nowadays we are using for the function call tooling. When we go for the reliability using the LLM, it will be more of a synchronous way. But if you go with the function call tooling, we can chain multiple functions which can be run in a sequence manner or in a parallel manner, so that it can be more flexible to the system. Customization and control, where if you go for the LLM, basically it has some limitations, where we cannot be more customized to the output which has been given to us, because it has been trained with the preset data. But if you go for the function call tooling, the customization and flexibility will be very high. Okay, the real world analogy. Okay, as from the previous slide, I often tell it function call tooling or tool calling. Okay, what is the real world use case for that? Okay, let us take a travel itinerary. We want to plan a travel itinerary where the user will prompt, I need a travel itinerary for 5 days with the budget of this much of dollars or amounts. So we need it. So what may be the use case? If we rely on the LLM, it can be more specific related to the travel itself. We can take some model or a provider which is more reliable to the travel itself, but it cannot predict the current situation data. the weather or cost of the airplane, it cannot be accommodated with the predefined data or trained data. So we need this function called tooling, which can rely on the external APIs and it can generate the response to us. Okay. Basic and advanced function call tooling. Here we say that the basic function call tooling is, instead of LLM doing all the work, we are delegating some part of real time hitting the data to the function call tooling. That's this basically we segregated into function and advanced tooling, where the advanced tool calling is a multi-tool or dynamic and adaptive execution for the API fetching the data. So finding the flight options, as we suggested in the previous slide, we can take a travel itinerary itself, where finding the best route or finding the best flight with the cheapest cost, best avenues to look into it, best hotel to accommodate, everything can be taken from the real-time data itself. Okay. Functions of benefits of function call tooling. Function tool: scalability, accuracy, flexibility, and customization. These are all the major advantages, benefits which we go for the function calling. Okay, scalability in sense we can accommodate n number of tools with n number of APIs to our LLM models. Accuracy in sense, if we go for the real-time data or real-time API fetchings, then the accuracy for the response will be more accurate rather than going with the traditional LLM responses. Flexibility, about the task flexibilities. Here we specifically going with the task flexibility. Customization is about the developer customization, where he can accommodate APIs to the LLM. Okay, I think so. This slide will more explanatory about, rather than I am speaking, this slide is more explanatory, I think so. This is the overview or a eagle eye point view of how the tool is working. Okay, as a user, I will give a prompt to the application, or I will prompt to the LLM. Okay, where this LLM will decide either I want to fetch a API for this particular prompt, or can I directly respond to this with my own data. That's all. Okay, here the prompt is going to the application, where it has been prompted with the function declaration. Here this function declaration and the parameters to the function can be, okay, it's okay. I think so. It's a little bit lag, I think so. This is my arrow, the blue. Right. Okay. This is okay. Yeah. As a user, I would give a prompt to my application, where this application will take my prompt with the function declaration. This function declaration part will be explained in the hands-on and the later slides. What is this function declaration? How this function declaration should be to the prompt. Okay, that can be, we will later we will give the overlook for this. This will go to my model. This model will decide whether I want to take a function called root, or can I directly respond to the user prompt. Okay, this model has the capability to recognize whether I want to go to the function. Yeah, anything. This model will obtain the prompt from the user via application. Okay, with this model have the capability for the function declaration also. It will take the root of a function call, it will go for the API, it will fetch the API's response, then it will go for the, again it will go to the model, where it will accommodate the user prompt. If it need any other data conversions or anything, it will make it, and it will give the response to the client itself. This slide will explain about the theory part of this particular thing. The prompt and the function definition is sent to the model. This model will decide whether we want to go to the API or not. If it is go to the API, it will go to the function execution part. The function will be executed and the data will be retrieved from the API, and it will again go to the model and it will give the result. Yeah. From this, the AI engine will take over it.
Here I will give a pause. So right now you have seen multiple items, I think. So you need to get it what we are able to try to convey that. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
The model is taking decision.
Yeah.
It has to take on. But then maybe how it is going to get the response to that.
Shall we take a scenario where we will ask for a prompt, travel itinerary itself. We will ask for an itinerary planner for 5 days with the budget of 5,000. If there is no tool or any external API has been fitted, LLM will decide to give the data from the trained data only. For example, the model can be trained before 3 years. With that particular data only, the model will reply to you.
I need to tell my own data or I need to take any external source.
So to more clear, so first thing is prompt and function definition. It means you have set of functions that is called tool. So and prompt also injected in this. So it will go to the model for identify which tool has to be called first. So I might have 10 tools. So considering in our case hotel booking is there, flight finding is there. So I have various weather finding and other tools are there. So if I'm asking a question related to hotels, it has to select hotel related APIs and it will get an API call of hotel related stuff and it will again return to model for summarization. So this is the overview of it. Yeah.
So let's just say the model has said that I have to then from the response of that particular function, I have to take some other function. Will it go back to the model or will it stay here and do the processing and then go outside this?
So I couldn't get your question exactly. Let me retry. I'll just explain. You just check whether it's correct or not. So you are saying first we'll have the model will call all the tools definition with prompt and it will return some response. Again, that tools will call and it will give some response. So consider if you have API called fetching the database related employee information and you are passing that information to the model and based on the user query, you are creating some summarization. So two calls will be available in model level and function level API's calls can be invoked.
What if I get the information from the DB of the from that function response, I have to call another function. I'm going to do something on top of that employee's data. Will it stay here and do the processing?
Yeah.
Or will it again go back to the model?
Yeah, so it will come under the next slide.
Yeah.
So it's like multifunctional tool calling. So which has single functional tool calling has drawback. So we are using multifunctional tool calling. It will be like synchronous and asynchronous way also. So all the LLM will do all the process. Either it can utilize your employee details to some other. It's like I can fetch other details dependent to employee ID also. I can do that on that level. Or I can directly return the employee information and I can summarize that also. Because API will give you structured output and from that output what is user's queries response has to be defined. So model is taking another time to reevaluate that and summarizing that. So this is the process. Yeah.
Is the model was predefined? It has to be built.
So model is so we have open source model like GPT-4 is there. You can train model also. So that is the model we are going to use. That. So most probably corporate companies will use like paid models like OpenAI or Claude. So as a professional developer, we have to use some open source APIs. Mainly we will go for Olama or Open Router. We have got I don't know how many of you are aware of that. We'll see in moving slides. Okay.
Thank you.
Are you guys getting bored? No? Okay, that's fine then. Okay. So, as Kasi said, he has given the clear information of all the slides which is available previously. So, to quick over, it's like a recap. So, I just need to need to give my thought on that. So, coming to LLM. So, how many of you know LLMs, and can you suggest some LLM names? Yeah. Any other? No? Sonnet, yeah. Llama. Any other? No. No?
No.
Not. Okay. Cloud.
Sonic. Gemini.
Gemini is there. Yeah. Google's. Yeah. It's also there. It's like Llama is Meta's, right? Yeah. So, what is LLM? Why we need LLM?
Training our own models, like using deep learning and machine learning, with style checking and constraints. So I think LLM is an easy way to access the benefits of deep learning.
Exactly. Yeah. Any other add-on points?
Translating your user prompt in such a way that it can understand what
Yeah. Exactly. So these are the points available for the LLM which we need to use now. So mainly we can see like we can train models, but we don't have enough resource because we need GPUs and we need some cloud related resources also. We as a developers or as low level employees, we cannot afford that much costly resources right now. So we are using some inferences or open source models. This is the overview of it. So coming to LLM, as I said, the LLM is trained with some past data and some statistics, everything it is trained on that, and based on that, it is providing the response. So this is called LLM.
I have a
Yeah.
say the LLM is actually trained. So if it's pre-trained, will that have all the data? I mean, I myself haven't run any LLM. Right? For example, I haven't self-hosted the DeepSeek, though I'm aware that we can do it. So what I'm asking is the data and everything. When you pre-train it, is it kind of a big binary which comes out, and that is what the DeepSeek is?
Yeah.
How does is that so?
So we don't want to go into deep into ML related stuff. The binary files are like model trained and it's loaded into binary files so that you can easily accessible in any of your environment and you can work on it.
Okay.
As a corporate employees, it's like corporate is using this strategy for ML related stuff, so they can feed their own domain data and they can get back all the information based on the information available in. So this is the overview of that. Now AI is going somewhere. That's like agentic AI is going, and more is coming. So if you're saying I'm saying some new concept today, tomorrow you will get new concepts. So it's exploring more, and we are also getting more to work on that. So this is what LLM. So as Kasi said, this is the way LLM works. So we don't want to get into much on this because right now we are not going to explore these kind of steps in real-time scenarios. We just need to understand how it works, because tomorrow as an interviewer or some may ask what's the architecture of model and how it works. So we need to say that technical backend workflow of that. So to know that, we need to understand how it is working. So as a web application developer, some might know. So in backend, it will go to router, MVC concept is there, and it will go to database and it will fetch. Similar to that, we have model workflows also. It has some certain patterns, so it will work on that. So here is the question. So why we need functional tool calling?
Previously trained data will be having some old data. You want to get some new data on the real time data. Use this function then summarize it.
Okay, that is one point. Yeah.
I just learned that in the previous session.
Okay.
So, the analogy is something what I felt like was in programming, in a typical programming language, how we use functions, which does one particular task. So that way, if we have created, if we have a specific task, one classical example which was given by the previous session was that there is a, you want your LLM to add two numbers to create a function and it will use that as one. So that way function can be anything.
Right.
In our case, probably the one which we are discussing about in this use case is getting the travel data, right? So let's say we hit make my trip API and we get that. That could be a separate function. That's what my analogy is.
Yeah. So exactly. That is the case. LLM actually will not do that particular real-time data accessing because it doesn't have access for that. And much things are there. LLM cannot have thoughts on their own. It's like agent thoughts, they can say, or some other preparation kind of stuff. So that we are moving to LLM functional calling, tool calling. So what here main role play is done is we will have set of functions as you said. So LLM will decide what function has to be triggered and it will give you the parameters and that function will get triggered and it will get response of that. Then LLM will summarize that final output. This is the workflow of functional tool calling. Moving forward, we will see deep. So this is future. These are all stuffs, theoretical stuffs. So as a real world analogy, we are planning for travel itinerary. So I will say instead of travel itinerary, I can say like the travel planner. So we have some of tools. So it will get into our real-time data and it will search and it will provide you. I have some examples for chatbot. So at the end of session, we can see the notes. So this is difference between basic and advanced. As he said, how single call is there and how multi-tool functional calling is working. So I have detailed information moving forward. I'll show you that. This is benefits, how scalable is that, accuracy, flexibility, customizability. So these are the items. So this is what we spoke on functional tool calling workflow. This is theory of that. Okay. So as I said, there are two things. One is static and one is dynamic. So anyone has idea what is static and what is dynamic?
It's not the trained model, just call as static. The real time basis.
Okay. It's we came inside functional tool calling. So inside functional tool calling also static is there, dynamic is there. So static in the sense what it will do is we have hard-coded the tools. So I know only this tool will call every time. So that is called static. It has a fixed logic and we will not add up any additional items. So whenever you are asking some query, it will call that function and it will generate a response of that function. Then it will that response will send to model and it will provide you summarization of it. So this is static, but dynamic is slightly different. We have multiple tools. LLM will decide which tool to invoke and based on query, the intent. So everything it will based on that it will invoke the tool and it will provide you response. This is the difference between static and dynamic tool. So and flexibility. Coming to flexibility, it has manual updates. I need to update every time when it is a static tool. So if it is a multiple tool function calling, it is like an adaptive one. So you don't want to add anything directly. We can add the requirements. It's like functions alone, so that it will work how we are expecting. So this is the difference.
Is there any downsides to using dynamic tool selection, or it's always the best?
Which one?
The dynamic tool selection compared to static.
So dynamic is best. So it has some challenges. I'll tell you challenges also, and how we can overcome also. I'll say you in future. So it has scalability. Performance will improve in multifunctional tool calling. error handling will get improved. So if some particular API is getting failed, then it will try to retry that multiple times to understand whether it's failing really or it's failed due to network issue or some other issue. So this is the whole. Yeah. So this is sample JSON tool selection. So we all know what to talk about this. We have a code for you. So we'll provide you that code. You can download it in your notebook or as like Google Colab, and we can have a hands-on session also here. Finally, we have chatbot also. Can I move to next slide? So here comes how LLM analyzes user input and choose the right tool. So while any function tool calling, everyone will have a question. So how it is doing? So do you have any questions on that or answer for that? So to precise, I'm saying how the LLM analyzes the user query and it's identifying the which tool to call.
So based on the inputs or parameters what we give, so it analyzes and gives.
Okay. So yeah, your thing is theoretically correct. I'm asking related to pattern.
How to
Yeah, how to analyze.
Parse.
Like if the prompt is like search weather report something, it will call that function.
You are saying keywords related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More specific.
Yeah. So let's say, I mean, one analogy which I just thought, I don't know if it's correct or not. Thing is, let's say weather API is what we have. What is the weather today? So this is one. Will it rain today? So the rain is closely related to weather. So for both of these queries, using that some mapping would be there, right? Graph mapping. I don't know that terminology, but maybe using that it will decide, okay, it's related to weather and we should call it.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm not sure if that's the right answer. But when we define the function, we give them some sort of description which says what the function is going to be doing, right? So when the model initializes all the function, it knows what these functions are. And then it kind of sorts out what I'm going to be supposed to be doing, and then sees if it is like the functions that I have has been solved the solution. If it gets a solution, it will be using that. If not, it will be going to those models and get them.
Okay, you are more or similar to that response. So you are more or less correct. So coming to your response, it's correct, but it's called embedding PLC. So it's like RAC framework or CAT framework. We will use that kind of stuff. So whatever the data, source data which we are embedding into our vector database, we will use this approach. So that it will, when you in previous session they might say right cat is near to dog or something. That's called numerical.
Can you explain that as well?
Yeah, I'll do that. Definitely. Yeah. So I'll say first one is intent recognition. So what does it mean? Intent recognition.
Like we are searching in Google something. What user is going to search, it will predict and suggest some list of them.
That is one predicting the next one. So intent identification. Recognition.
Users trying to convey. Most reasoning may be useful for a particular response.
So I need still more specific.
Predicting next word based on their search history.
No. So then what
We need to do
exactly, you are correct. So we will say very category. So we are all humans, person, you are a person. So that is intent. So if you have idea of concept in ML, name, entity, recognition will be there. It's similar to that. So we are indenting something and we will make it as a category so that it will be useful to understand which where we need to search for your answer and go it. So first one is intent
This is in the LLM itself.
in the
So, I mean, one more question. I mean, very close to that. So, earlier I was talking about two prompts, right? One is what's the weather today, and the other one is will it rain today? If I ask, should I take umbrella with me today? That also will be in the same bucket.
that will come under because why means it comes under the same thing. The LLM might get trained with many things. So I need to take umbrella whether it will rain or whether the sun will be today heat will be more or something I can ask. So coming to that category, it will go into weather category or something category, and it will provide you that response with umbrella reference also. So it will give you two kind of response based on your specific query. So if I am asking similar to should I need to take umbrella outside today? If you're giving that, so you are asking related to whether it's going to rain or whether it's too hot. So it will go to that things. You just say whether I need to buy umbrella. So that's different. So what it will take us, okay, this guy is asking regarding the umbrella buying stuff. So I need to search related to umbrella and what is the price of that umbrella, where it is cheap or something. It will generate based on it.
Is there a way to visualize and see this data? I mean, how it is working? Like a debugger.
Yeah. So inside the LLM we cannot do right now, but we have more options on this to track how each API is working and what is happening. So this thing, if you are training a model or if you are doing what related to models building, then you can do this. Because if I am getting some model, it will be in binary form or pictorial form. So what it will happen is they have compressed everything inside a single binary. So you don't get to see that stuff. So I have left it over at intent recognition. Okay. So next one is tool selection. Coming to tool selection. So we have given 10 tools inside that LLM and how it is selected. So we have a concept called functional mapping. So the description will be there. Based on the description, it will ask inside the LLM whether I need to invoke now or I should not invoke. So this is also second one. Third one is input formatting and execution. So which is not here. This is stuff which is very high level stuff will be there. So I am saying DB. Okay. So third one is input formatting and the execution. Why we need formatting? What is called formatting? Yeah. Why we need that?
Proper response from get response.
Yeah, you are all correct. So if we are getting in a proper response, the LLM will understand more. So these are the responses coming. If it is a JSON method, then the LLM is highly qualified for that. So I'm very happy for that. I can take this response and I can easily give you output. So for that purpose, we are doing that input formatting and executions also. So third one is response processing and synthesis. So response processing has happened inside the LLM and synthesis also happens inside the LLM to copy the text. So I think everyone has Tamil, right? Anyone doesn't know Tamil? You doesn't know, okay. Tamil will say Korvaya, it's the Korvaya, that's what, okay, you can search it in. So last one is error handling and fallback strategy. So error handling means has to handle the error by iterating multiple times, and fallback strategy has to be there. One fallback strategy when I'm saying, so if this doesn't work, how I need to provide an answer. So that has to be addressed. That is also happening. So these are the major things. So coming to parallel execution and asynchronous. What is called parallel execution? Simultaneously.
Two things happening at the same time.
Right. Asynchronous.
One thing is happening and another thing is loading. Once that is loaded, then it will come to
Exactly. So sequential is called like the total time is sum of all the API. So if I am getting responses 5 tools has to be called in LLM, then each tool is taking 5 seconds. Then I will get 25 seconds, right? So that is called the sequential. If it is a parallel tool, maximum size of particular API is called. So in 5 tools, I am getting a response as 5 seconds as a max. Then my response will get it in 5 seconds. So this is a major difference in this. Why we need parallel and sequential. Okay. Okay. So I just need to add some more points for asynchronous. So faster response time, as I said, the response will be max of API call time, and it will not like a sum of all the APIs call time. So that is asynchronous. And non-blocking execution. LLM does not wait unnecessarily. If it is a sequential, it will wait for some time. So first you all know in waterfall diagram, right? Everyone knows, right? So what it will happen is step 1 completed, then only step 2 starts. So it's different. So parallelly it will run and it will. Third one is scalability. So scalable application we can build. So we don't want to, if hundreds of users are coming, each user will get response separately and they can close it. So this is the most. So this is flow diagram of that, how my parallel APIs are calling and we are getting the response. So coming to tool chaining, what is tool chaining?
It looks like, say we need 2 different data. The data and then we do something else.
Exactly.
Calling two APIs at the same time.
Exactly. So chaining means it's dependent on our previous input. So coming to our scenarios, we have 5 tools. So each tool has their own APIs and their own responses will be there. If number third tool is dependent on first tool's output, then that will be chained under this and tool chaining will be happen. So this is most important topic of that. It's like blockchain concept. So it will automatically convert into chaining and it will provide you response based on it. So I gave you at first employee related information. So it will wait for employee ID and we can fetch some other information related to employees. So that is called tool chain. So it's like descriptive. So to understand, you can go through this, how the workflow types are happening and flexibility of that and decision logic. It's like a static tools. LLM is driven that. So LLM knows that. So which one I need to call and based on user needs it will call and it will provide you response. That is what. Okay. So logging, debugging, error handling. Someone can explain what is logging, what is debugging, what is error.
Logging is printing something to console and check what is the result
Only for console?
for anything.
Right file.
Yeah. Right.
Typically, this way for any application in the running state. Logging, once it stops also, they can use the file for the debugger, why it is logged, what is happening.
So to debug, I need logging because if it is getting logged, then only I can debug. Else I cannot debug. So that is most important in every application. So we need to log it properly. It's like which tool is called and what is the purpose of that. Somewhere I need to call what is the start time of that because we can have statistics of how many minutes it took for execution and more things we can use on by logging and debugging. So error handling, why we need error handling?
If it fails, what should be? It should not stop the execution. So it should run even if it is failing, catching the error.
So it will not run even fetching the execution, it's like error. So what it will do is instead of just printing randomly some code in the chatbot or somewhere, it will do like if this catched, you will give a meaningful error for a human to understand that, and they can debug it easily or somewhere. So that is the purpose. So these are three things we need to take and have whenever we are creating some application or chatbot or API, whatever we are doing. Yeah, this is real world use cases. I can say which is related to us. Hotel booking is there, finance, budget breakdown, destination finding, activity plan. Activity plan has many things. So nowadays everyone is celebrating kids' first birthday. So we can ask LLM what are the activity we can do that. So various is that. In our case, we have that scenario. We can use it. So as we spoke in structured outputs, why we require. These are our key features, that's like flexibility, empowering, and deep integrations with applications. So I'm skipping this because we spoke more on the topics than skipping this slides, okay? So this is a best practice. We said how token is managed, content filtering. We all know. So you came for this basic topic because of security, I think. That is also one probability you saw that in heading security will be there. So that is called content filtering things. Content filtering happens in two places. One is for input, one is for output. So input we can pass it by filtering out unwanted contents and we can pass it to LLM. And while getting a response, if it is false or if it is not okay for us, then we can filter that also. So for that we can use it. So yeah.
So I have content filtration, not on the output side, but when I feed the input to the LLM side, I do the filtering process. So let's say I'm not using my own LLM or something. I have an LLM.
Yeah.
So I gave an input. It has to do some filtering, but my filtration is like so much that it kind of malformed the whole data. The LLM couldn't understand. Can I do some post-processing kind of thing so that the LLM could understand in this filtration system?
Yeah, we can do that. We have so much validated right now. We can do that process also. So it all depends on us. So I might have some validators, so I can keep it in anywhere and I can use it based on my business logic. So we can do that. So for similar, I can say something like PAI informations. How many of you know that? Okay. So if you are using OpenAI or something, if you're posting my name is this, so I'm getting this much salary. So what is the expected salary I need to get in future? If you are posting something, so it will take that information and it will store it in model also. So why it's doing, because we have to filter that content. If I have a option to filter, I'll validate whether you have it has the content has personal information or not. If it has personal information, I will indent that, then I will close this. So intent in the sense, your name will be changed into person tag, your salary will be changed into some other tag. So that will be that's called filtering and validators. Okay, this is overview of that. Whatever we spoke, it's coming here. So coming to relevant quadrants. Anyone have the idea of what is quadrants? Yeah, we are picking that ahead of slides, I think. So the same thing. We have input code and output code. So before passing to prompt and after getting the response from LLM, we can do that. So why we need this is to prevent risk and to secure ourselves. Moving forward, we have much items. Nowadays, many people are saying like Aadhaar card number should not be shared with anyone because due to that we are exploiting some. It's like we are cyber crimes, right? So it's coming. Many things are coming. So we need to aware of working with LLMs also. If you are integrating any LLMs with your application, you need to ensure these kind of items also. Okay. So this is the basic one we spoke, like content filtering, private security, privacy and security, how user verification, bias and fairness. Bias is like it's all comes under ML related stuff. So moral will depends on particular response alone, whichever you are trained data. That will not be sufficient for original response data. So that is called bias.
Popular example now is the left hand.
Yeah. Okay. So coming to challenges, there are more challenges in functional tool calling. So I'll say like latency is there. Latency in the sense sometimes functional tool calling is based on error response. It might give 10 or n number of tools. So it will wait for that and it will do many steps. So we need to reduce latency using asynchronous method or multifunctional tool calling so that we can reduce that latency. Handling errors and failures intelligently, we can recover from error using some strategies, retries method, and much more things. Yeah.
So yeah, are we not writing any like predefined methods rather than fix randomly, right? As you said, randomly. Don't we have any fixed numbers?
Yeah. So coming, there are different concepts is that if you want to have a workflow related thing, we have land graph and much more frameworks are there. So you will define the framework. It's like workflow there, and it has to flow through this particular nodes alone. We can mention that and much more we can do with land graph also. That is static overflow, which will process for everything based on conditional cases also it will work. I can say like whether I need to process this output or not. If you're saying yes, it will process. If you're saying no, it will not process. That is static. Why we are coming to functional tool calling is human doesn't want to involve much more things inside that. We can involve that, but we don't want to involve more processing. If I need to create some automation, it has to work on their own. So I don't want to interfere inside that. For that purpose, we are using multi-functional tool calling. So if you want to move ahead of that, give me a second. Agentic AI is that. So what it will do is it has human in the loop. So consider the scenario like you have payment related refund function is there. So if refund function is that you have to get approval from a particular person, then it has to get back to user, right? So instead of if I know how many of you know this or not, I don't know. Zomato has a refund option previously. It's like that function will call automatically. If you said I don't like food, it will call automatically and the amount will come back to your account. How many of you know that? Okay, you guys know. I have tried many times. I got for 5 times everything. So it's like that. So then what they did is they have taken into account this and they said we should not have this automatic and we need to keep a human in the loop so that if you are waiting for refund, human some interference will be there. They will approve this request, then that function will respond. So this is Zomato's case happened. Okay. So now we will go for hands-on time. Anyone can, yeah. So there's a GitHub link. You can directly copy paste in your, or you can scan it and you can take it in your laptops. You all have internet, right? That's right. It will come. Let them scan it first. Then
Guys, if you face any difficulties, kindly reach out.
the same link will come to you.
You able to scan? Are you able to scan the QR? Can you move the slide? Guys, can you move the slide?
Are you able to access this code? GitHub link, right? Yeah. You can clone it, and that it will you find a notebook and you can upload it into your Colab. You all have Colab, right? Colab access. என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்களா? அப்படியா? நீங்க எல்லாத்தையும் ரன் பண்ணி விட்டுருங்க. ரன் பண்ணி ட்ரேடிங் வைக்கலாம் பாருங்க. So before that, you all got prerequisite mail, right? So in that you will be able to find the PDF, right? So you guys have key for that. We said 2 keys has to be there. One is Grok API, another one is Godray API. Everyone has, right? Anyone doesn't have, we can wait for you. We can take it. Everyone has. You don't know. Okay.
One is Godray, for some.
You can see there the screen. Yeah,
Yeah, they will help you. So this is hands-on session. So we have a code for you. So what is does it? It will build a chatbot with Gradio. So you all know about Gradio, right? You doesn't have it. Help me. So Gradio is like a user interface for ML and chatbot related stuff. It's quick to install and we can use it immediately. So this is called Gradio. It will have chatbot interface easily. So you can connect your API or you can code it inside. So that is called Gradio.
Everyone, please open your code in Colab, please. It will be very accessible point.
Go to our GitHub.
Yeah.
The repository, and is there any IMDF facility here? So you can open the Google Colab and upload your notebook. You can able to. Meanwhile, if you have difficulties, please let us know.
Is that properly imported?
You will find a key in the website. So if everyone is uploaded to Colab, you can find here key symbol will be there. You can click that and add your keys with the same name. So key names should be same. Values is yours, whatever the API key you have generated. Hello. Anyone facing any issues, please let us know so we can help on this. So if you guys are setting in VS Code, it will be slightly difficult for you because we have implemented code based on collab and getting the credentials from collab environment. So better you can move for collab. Else you can hard code it in your the variable wherever we have used.
That's the problem, right?
Okay, can we do something? It's like I'll explain the code first to you, then you can set it up in your system and you can make it run.
I moved a little bit bigger the text so that you can see.
Is everything okay? Can we do that way? So I need your attention then.
Okay.
Can we go ahead? I need your eyes. Yes. So afterwards you can deploy it in your system. Just 10 minutes. I'll close this and we'll have 20 minutes for this. You can install it in your system and you can take a chat mode. So come, can you again? First level. So why we need Grok? Anyone knows what is Grok? You don't have idea.
We can access open source.
Okay. Only open source models.
So we can able to with the interface there. So we don't need to run it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. So Grok is like it's like an inference we can say. So they have hosted the models in their environment. So they will provide you some API keys. It has limits to access. You can access that key with identify what the LLM does, and you can ask the response to that LLM also. It has certain models which is available for certain limits, I believe. So you can go through their original site in Grok. So available models and what is the limit of each model and what is the how we can generate API keys already you know already. Okay. So that is for Grok. Coming to guardrail. So we said one more thing. Guardrail. Why we are generating API key for? Anyone?
I think let's say profanity
Similar to that. So everyone knows Hugging Face, right? What does Hugging Face do? Anyone? So it's like a centralized platform where multiple persons can host their models and they can download their models. Similar to that, we have guardrails AI also. They have their hub. So if they host some validators on that, we can fetch on real time and we can utilize. So this is for guardrails. So as I said, there are multiple guardrails validator on that. We have used toxic language in this particular session. You can explore their hub in official site. I can provide you at the end of session. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead. So second sense, first thing I need to understand, how many of you use Google Colab? Or this is the first time for you, Google Colab? First time. Anyone? First time. Okay. So what is Google Colab is? It's like you all know Jupyter Notebook. Okay. It's similar to Notebook. So it has multiple cells. We can run individual cells. That part alone will get run, and the response of that particular part is stored inside your Colab itself. So this is called Notebook. So why we are using Google Colab? Because we can store it in our own G drive. So it will not get lost. Data will not get lost, and you can. We have multiple environment. So if I want to use model related stuff, I can use it here. We have a T4, I think. So that's a runtime will be available in that particular config. You can change the runtime and you can use it. Right now, it's not required. You can have attention here. I can explain it detailing. Okay. So here, what I did is we set it up two things, right? One is Grok API, another one is Guardrail API. So we need to access in this is syntax for it. So I am accessing both the secret values using this syntax. So Google Colab is getting their user data using the syntax. So that is what we did in this particular. So this cell is for guardrails configuring. So what it does is, so you want to get, so how it is getting configured? Okay. So you can configure in two ways. One is the browser you can configure. So you can access through browser. If you want access in terminal, how you can do it?
It can be access to then it will be put into the credentials part. And from that it will be stopped.
So there are multiple ways. One is like personal token access. Another one is username password. Another one is SSH access. So three ways of that we can access. Similar to that, Guardrail also provided this type of config. If you are running this config and with token, it will automatically download that Guardrail into our system. It's like runtime server. So we will have access for Guardrails. Okay. I'll move to next sentence. So this is Guardrails hub. So what I did is I took toxic language validator and I have downloaded using this command. This is a command for that. It will download the toxic language and it will have a new system. It's like the validators. So this is trained with multiple toxic language. It is able to identify the toxic language. If I'm saying you don't have any idea about this or something harshly, if I said, it will understand this is a toxic language. We should not talk. If I am talking about related to racism or something other than toxic, so related to toxic, then it will easily identify this. Still on? Oh. So I believe you all know Python. Any surprise? Someone doesn't know Python? JavaScript. But you know Python, right? That's fine. Oh. So we just import all the libraries. I'll go one by one. First is OS. So we can get, we can set it up or we can get that OS environment label. For that purpose we have. This one is for formatting. So we have certain format. We can convert it into our structured output. So we are using JSON. GradU, as I said, that's a user interface. We can use it inside. So we have imported that also. Datetime is it's like a small one. We can use datetime by importing that. Coming to DuckDuckGo search, we use in our particular hands-on session DuckDuckGo search tool. So which has an LangChain chain. You can identify LangChain chain tools or toolkits. So what it will do is it will fetch the real-time data and it will provide you. So that is the work for that. This is titled with like data type connotations. So it has certain data typing. Find that it is used for validating inside the code whether this variable is available or not while passing to API or some classes. So for that purpose, we have used find that. LangChain OpenAI is to call the LLM. So even we are using Grok, we can use it by LangChain OpenAI. So we have used Stack OpenAI library to call that. So as we installed the toxic language previously, we have used that also.
I didn't understand the relationship between LangChain and Grok.
So Grok is like an inference. LangChain is framework. So in this framework, they have built a communication for Grok. So it is supported to chat OpenAI function. So it's like a class. Using the chat OpenAI function, you can call that particular Grok with API URL and their model name.
It has a Grok will have an instance of open or fixed current.
I can have it. But LangChain has provided in this way. So we have other ways also. I can directly access Grok using some HTTP request also. I can do that. Or I have some other libraries also. Probably if we are going with LangChain, that's a proper framework or orchestration framework. So it can help you how we can do that, and it has good community also. It has good documentations also. So it will be helpful. So we have used here.
I need to open this.
So why we have used guardrails? To utilize this hub, we have bridge for that. So we have used guard function on fail action. If it is getting failed, we are going to call some response. So using that on fail. So this is for simple base chat model. What is that? So we have set it up OpenAI key in environment as a Grok key. Why means because of the static. Can you go? Okay, so coming to DuckDuckGo search, as I said, it can access real-time data. So we have created a class and we have that also here. There are some functions inside this. One is real-time fetching results. Another one is getting a forecast value. Another one is hotel booking and booking also. So what it will do is using this function, it will go to real-time, whatever query you are asking, so it will go and fetch real-time with response of this much. So the value is 10, so it will give you 10 response on that particular thing. So this is their work. So here on customize the tools, I have tool names with params with descriptive descriptions, so that LLM can understand which tool has to be invoked at the time of running in reality. So we have certain functions like destination, activity plan, budget breakdown. So with predefined descriptions, so that it can understand. If I'm asking related to I need to plan for birthday party, so it will automatically call that activity planner tool. So this is the difference. So we are creating a small function with descriptions. So these are all similar function, and finally we did like LangChain tool is equal to. So we have binded into LangChain tools. To use that, we have binded it. So I can say like I have 10 tools or 5 tools. So in this tool, LLM has to select which tool has to be executed. So for that purpose, we have binded it. So these are all. It's like a syntax which is available in LangChain frameworks. So you can go through on that site to understand more deep.
Earlier in the abstract when we were talking about chaining, what we were, I mean, it's like the LLM would actually decide which tool to call, and then when the response comes up, it again uses the LLM to summarize. So LangChain governs everything, and we are just letting LangChain know that okay, these are all the
Yeah. So why we are using Talentship? I can write it on my own also. So some companies like corporate, what they will do is they will not depend on open source frameworks or something, so they will write it on their own. So that is also possible. This is also possible. Can you go? So this is chat related interfaces. So this functions denotes how we are loading history, how we are saving history, how we are clearing history, and how we are contexting that history into that specific format. So this is the class. So we have three prompts here. So one is validating prompt. So we have provided in a prescribed manner. So what are the contexts will be there? What is the query you are passing? It will automatically get import inside that latest query, and it will provide you based on the required information also. It will give you it's like a providing one output JSON with specified value. Whatever, if I am asking some questions, it will provide you in a JSON format, and we can move it to LLM response also.
So this is a template, response template itself.
So this is prompt. I can write anything on this to get it on my way. So if I need exactly this section has to work, I can write prescribedly for that also. So we have written for this particular chatbot, what is the way you have to respond, and what are the rules available inside, what are the tool calls you are going to call. So much more we have included.
Is it a domain specific language DSL or something? Because how does it know rules? Is this a predefined structure? I don't know.
Yeah, that comes under prompt learning. So we have it's like separate course will be there. So and it has separate designations also. What it will do is you will enhance the prompt. So LLM can understand in specified format by giving in asterisk, and under way you can give it in bullet points, or you can give it like a important guidelines or some namings it can understand. You can tweak it using that.
Almost it is same for all LLM. Like the same.
It can work. But coming to LLMs, there are many things with that. So if I am using something like a low trained model, it will perform accordingly. If it is a more trained model, say 70 billion or 8 billion, so what it will do is it will give you more prescribed. It's like detailed information it will give you. If you are asking how to make coffee, it will give you step by step. But if it is a less trained model, it will say you have to have a milk, keep it in gas, and you will get, it will give you 2 sentences or something. But if it is more trained model, it will give you step by step. How many members you want to make coffee for that, and you can ask much more using that. That they will call that as a triage. So if it is unable to have such basic information, then it will again ask you, so I need this information. If you are providing that information, it will provide you more respective information for you. So as I said, these are all prompts which we have used inside. Down. So this is for chat. So here we have mentioned what is the tool calls we are going to call, and what is the detailed information of each tool which is going to consume. Now next slide. So it has additionally like how the response has to be stitched, and how it has to be sent to LLM, and how response has to be hit for chat interface for that purpose. So coming to here, this is a interface. As I said, we have used chat OpenAI with base URL. This base URL defines you grok, and model we have used this model. So you can use your pre-trained model, whatever which is available inside the grok. So it will respond accordingly. So we have stitched the Talentship tools. So I have some 5 tools. So I'll use the tools in first parameter, and I'll use that model also the second.
So I have not one question on it. I understand it's grok. That's the hosting of these three. It's a hostable one. So they are. So what is the advantage of using grok for OpenAI? Is it something like very convenient if you want to change the LLM to a different LLM? Is that the use case, or is there more better use case for using grok?
So let me see. What does is it will give you base URL and model selection. So in the base URL you can give it anything. It's like Palama also you can give it, a model also you can select something. So it will just denote the API URL and with their model. Based on that it will work inside. So it's like a coding, like a simple function which I have used in my code. Using this particular I can invoke any type of functions. So that is the basic method. It does not give you correlate between Grok and OpenAI. So naming convention is there with language, so it is accordingly there. Nothing to disturb remaining things. So we can use in number of things.
Right. What I mean is like, is that what advantage just using Grok?
Okay. That's what we
Instead
said.
of directly calling the
We can call directly also. It's a language framework task. We can use it there. We don't want to add down additional codes for that particular part, and we have to handle multiple things which they have handled inside that. So we are just consuming their functions. So these are all UI related. We have some example messages and we have some costume changes also. That is what in this particular set. Can you go? Yeah, go. Next one. So coming to final set, this is the way we can remove that particular interface and it will generate a URL for you. So you can find a URL, running on public URL, and this is the URL. So this is the gradient link. If you click this link, it will be opened in a new window. Can you share this? So this is the chat interface. This has a gradient link. So you can try it with any of the example. We provide you response. Here we have given additional details. It's like debugging. So which tool is called here? We have multiple tools inside our code. This tool is called. Based on the tool, is it called any API related stuff or not? It will provide you that logging also here, and it will provide you that response. I don't want that. So I'm using some toxic language. So you can see here, I have created some sample text. So if I call that, it will ask you to please refrain your language because it's a toxic. So it will not get any process. This is called content filtering. So we can have it in detecting the PAE information also we can do. That is using that we have downloaded that validators, right? I have downloaded toxic language validators. Instead of that, you can download any validators and they have certain syntax. Using that, you can replace. So this is the output of it. Now you can try in your system. If you want any help, we can.
how did you run this?
When the runtime.
Save this now.
So you will find the runtime in particular area. You can run all the cells.
Correct also we need to.
Yeah,
Name we need to keep.
To run all the cells, it will take some time. Because we are downloading some validator, right? Based on your internet connection, it will take some time.
And then just open the link what we have done.
So e-setup is done.
All I need to do
You can move by the link. Other
Let us know if you have completed the
yeah, then students completed.
it's completed. You can see
Create one. Here.
You take the playlist. Maybe Google then you have just already downloaded the first you need to you can run all the program. If you just give me run all, it will be all the cells. You can run by one by one.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Chatbot is running. Okay, that's great. You can ask questions and we can explore. You can change the model names based on the drop and you can work on it. We have a option for that also. You will be having like a SDKs in JavaScript. So same thing in Python, whatever we are doing, we can do it in but coming to that scalability and other things which is available equal to Python, we cannot rely on that. So Python is best for that. If you learn Python, we can do anything. Java we can achieve that, but it's not up to that.
Guys, you have sample components on the bottom. You have sample components.
Place how this is user experience.
So I need to understand. So you are asking related to cosmetic changes or any other.
Because only data the related to technical.
There are two options. One is so which you will not touch. You are directly going to touch the user experience. If I say something like build a chatbot, you will be concentrating on how the chatbot goes and how I can keep it effectively using scrolling so this is purely what is the cosmetic things. So you can explore it by reactive or angular. So these are the language.
ड्रॉप ग्रीन एलन मस्क रिलीज பண்ணிருக்காரு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் 93% மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸ் செல்ல போற முடியுமா அப்படியே லைஃப்
You can get like the visuals. So and we can use a browser to display much more things you can. Yes, I'm not expecting that. Nothing can do that because something very
So I will give you a small quiz alone. So everyone has a mobile phone, right? So you can take your mobile phone and you can scan it. You will you can add a name as you call it out. Please give appropriate name. So finally we are giving three prizes, top three prizes. So it's like a chocolates. So you can scan and you can start answering the question. I'll provide you link.
Convert this to React with
You can do it.
and deploy.
Can we start? No, 5 more minutes. So we'll close this and we have to go down for closing note. Then you will get participant certificate, I believe. So there are a couple of items. That's all. We can close this thing. If you need QR, we can provide you with this mobile also. Okay, sure. Thank you. How many are there? 10 members. Anyone has to join? Yeah, please. Be fast. Shall we start? How many of you there? 14. We need more participants. Ready? Anyone has to join or we can go ahead? Okay, start. It started. Please answer. Very correct. சசிட்டு கொடுங்க. நம்ம சசி மாட்டிட்டு பேசணும்.
பேசிட்டு கழட்டி வச்சுட்டு கை கழட்டி
Can we do it a bit faster? So you'll get points. I think almost done. 5 minutes. Camera. Done. Everyone done? We need to wait.
ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೆಟ್ ಸ್ಲೋವರ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು
Thank you. Anyone else still?
Yeah.
Only one guy. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Monica was it.
ಆದ್ರೂ ನಿಪಾಟಿಟ್ಟಾರ ನನಗೆ
Network issue. Monica was it. Was it? Oh, you get it. Okay. 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 Yeah, good to see that. Nice one. I'll appreciate your top 3 players. That's a small chocolate gift. Anikhil. Thanks for participating. Ritesh.
ಲೀಡರ್ ಬುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಾನು
It's a like
shocked me too. It shocked me too. I got everything right.
Pawan? So that's what I said at starting itself. Time.
Don't know anything.
I want to give two more also. So what do you give? So I want to give it to you. Your name? Yeah. For
He makes the session as more interactive.
everyone gets that. More. Your name? Nice one. Thanks. So I hope you guys have gained some knowledge from this particular workshop. So we will expect you on TAICONNECT 3. So this is the closing note I want to include. So you will be having closing note and certification distribution in fourth floor. You can wait that. It will be around 15 minutes, I think. So we can close that also. Please wait in fourth floor. There will be 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.